Hello everybody, welcome to the second day of the mail week where I share my new acquisitions of old school magic cards that help me to complete the collection, well, at least to get the collection to the state where I want it to be, because I'm not getting some of the most expensive cards like the Tabernacle. But, you know, this allows me to have about 98% of all unique old school magic cards, many of these in a playset. So here we go. This particular package was the most troublesome one, because I had to go to the customs office for that, and I had to deal with all this bureaucracy and declarations, and this was also during the pandemic lockdown period. To be honest with you, I thought that these cards would go back to the sender, and actually I got them, I think, in May. No, it was actually not in May, it was even in March. It was in March, but these cards, I was waiting for them for a very long time, and when I finally got them, I had to, you know, explain to the customs officer what magic actually is. You can imagine this is really problematic and difficult. You have to prove that these cards are for your personal use. And initially, you know, I used to talk about trading card game, well, collectible card game, saying that, you know, these cards are what they actually are. This doesn't really work with the customs, and, you know, also the word collectible is not a good thing to say. So I actually started saying that these are just a board game, okay? And you also had to explain, you know, why they have this and that value. So anyway, I finally have them, and here we got some duels, which is very important, and some random cards that I wanted to have for my collection. So here they are. Alright then, so, okay, that's a knight with vigilance, not really relevant for old school. We've got this nice, I don't know what to call this, jewel case, I always think of it. It always seems weird to me because it doesn't really look like something designed for magic, but anyway. So, the knight token, and here's the first duel. Tropical Island, as you can see. I think these are rather nice copies. I think I bought them as near mint, don't remember exactly, I think that's the case. International edition actually, both of them. As for the debate of international versus as you understand, simple collector's edition, I always opt in for international edition, and many people think that these are equally important cards, I mean equally valuable, but we know the story, we know that the print run is actually smaller for international edition, and for a very long time there was no difference in price, but this difference finally starts to show, and I think that this is actually the future, that these will be more expensive than the simple collector's edition, and, you know, sometimes by several dozen dollars, could be even that. So as you can see, and, you know, maybe I've talked to you about some of these parts of my collection, I didn't have the aim to have 40 duels. For some of the duels I only had the goal of 2 of them, because it's still splashable, and it's even possible to play, you know, with 2 duels like that, and let's say 4 cities of brass. I've had this experience and actually managed to get more or less good places in different magic tournaments, so that's fine. Maybe I will get to the desired 40 lands, but I don't actually think so, at least not in the nearest future. So guys, Avenger, not a tremendously good card, as you understand, but I think it could be playable. I mean, how big is this guy going to get? I think easily, you know, 3-3 on turn 2. I think that's definitely possible. With only one copy, it's not going to be huge, but you know, with Citadel Druid, could be nice. Singing Tree. Now, Arabian Nights, as you know, recently all of these cards starting to get more and more expensive as people realized how scarce these are, how iconic Arabian Nights is. Probably the most iconic old school set. Well, I'm not talking about the original, of course, core sets, so to say. I'm talking about the expansions. And Singing Tree, if you look at it, you will actually realize that this tree has got lips. Have you seen that? I'm not sure, but this is the Singing Tree. And also there are skulls to indicate, you know, the power of this tree, but doesn't really kill. It's actually a very peaceful tree, so this is just a coincidence, all right? Island of Wak Wak. Right, again, speaking of power reducing effects, obviously nowadays we've got Maze of Ith, which is much more playable, but mind you, Island of Wak Wak is not strictly worse, because it can also reduce the power of creatures that are blocking. So I'm going to be running this in some of my decks, maybe not as main deck, but you know, could be fun. Merc Dwellers, the card type of this card is actually zombie, so look out for the zombie deck I'm going to make and share with you. These are actually not that bad. With Zombie Master they have amazing synergy, because they will basically be unblockable if you've got Evil Presence on your opponent's lands, or if your opponent actually does have a swamp. So, you know, 4-2 for 4 mana without any particular drawbacks, that's fine. In Creature Combat obviously it's not so good. Now we have got a Bayou. Well, for some reason this one is sleeved. You know, that's always so random. Why is some of these sleeved, why are some of them not sleeved? Maybe this was a near mint copy, but no, it doesn't look like near mint, doesn't. You know, it's a little bit bent. And okay, right, so one Bayou. The second Bayou is actually in another package, so I'm gonna show it. Natural Selection. I always thought that this card is a real mystery, because this card is actually incredibly hard to get. I heard the rumors of some hoarder, of some person who decided to buy this card out, and I would actually like to know, you know, why this card is so iconic for this particular person. And you know, these rumors might actually be true, because unlimited copy, very difficult to get. Collector's edition even sometimes could be a bit difficult to get, and the problem is that this card is not actually played. I mean, it is playable, more or less. It's like some Brainstorm, which is actually much worse, you can say. But I'm not sure what to say about this. I mean, probably not Brainstorm, it's better to say Portent. But no, it's not Portent. Okay, forget it. You get the idea. But this is the second copy I've got, and I was thinking about, you know, some interaction with Field of Dreams. Why not? And I'm just happy to have this card. And also Mark Poole, you know, I like Mark Poole's art. Transmute Artifact, managed to get it before the price spike, and this is probably the only copy I'm going to own. Here, as we can see, the surface is rather bad, but well, the back is pretty much the same. Anyway, just wanted to have a Twiddlewald deck, and no, not heavily relying on the Twiddlewald combo, but still. So, Transmute Artifact, a really good card for many different decks. So at least I own one copy. And Gate to Phyrexia. Gate to Phyrexia, a card that I often saw, and a lot of people talked about it, but I'm just not sure how playable it is. doesn't really look playable to me because there is no real surprise in it, and you should also sacrifice a creature to activate this effect. So I don't know, I'm not sure, but could be played in some card with in some deck, I mean, with token maybe. Anyway, just wanted to have it for the collection. The art is amazing here, sorry. And I like the light here, how it actually comes from outside, and it's really creepy but atmospheric at the same time. So yeah, there it is. This was mail day 2. Look out for more, and thank you for watching.